Hey friends, we are back live in action. Um, sorry, I'm putting my shoes on because COVID life means I'm usually not wearing shoes because I don't go anywhere. And even when I'm outside, I prefer the no shoe life. I know it's a horrible idea. I get a horrible splinter every year, but sometimes I just don't learn my lesson. Um, Anyways, if you're joining me today, you're going to need one heavyish object that you can swing. So think kettlebell and then find something similar in your home. So I have a couple ideas. I think a full brand new laundry detergent, and I only say brand new because if you use one where the cap is broken or something's loose, like I don't want to be responsible for laundry detergent all over the floor. The next one is like a bigger jug of water because A, water's easier to clean up, but two, you can just like tape the top. I guess that would work for laundry soap too. Or a backpack filled with heavy objects like books or I don't know, 2 bricks if you have them. I wouldn't go over 30 pounds though. Also, if you have a child that weighs 30 pounds or less, I don't recommend swinging it around. So before I get running through the warm up, I am going to post the workout and I suggest you go find an object to swing. I'll get mine too. Lynn says hi. Hey, Lynn. Lynn, you might actually even be able to use your weighted vest. If you take it off and Velcro everything really tight, you could probably use that as your equipment for today. Okay. I didn't grab tape, so I'm going to be wild and hope that my weighted object doesn't pop open. But we are going to get our workout started with some arm and leg swings. So go ahead and swing your arms side to side 10 times. And then up and down 10 times. Then do the same thing with your legs, forward and back 10 times. And then side to side 10 times. Make sure you get the other leg. And then go ahead, nice wide stance. Push your arms up to the ceiling, roll those shoulder blades back, put them in your back pocket, fold in half, and then push all the way back up at the top. Go ahead and do that 10 times. We'll call these pinwheels. Make sure you reset and push towards the ceiling at the top each time. Nice. So let's go ahead and talk about the moves. For the first one, we're going to do swings. So if I'm Lynn and I have a weighted vest, this isn't weighted by the way, I'm going to want a really wide stance so that I can push my hips back, swing the vest between my legs, and then bring it up to eye level. Regardless of the item that you're using, you really want to make sure that you're not squatting down, but you're hinging back. So what that means is the bottom half of your leg kind of stays where it is, and you just push your hips back, and then you squeeze your glutes, and that exploding up puts momentum on the object. You can also do it with a backpack. So I would recommend holding closer to the top, otherwise it's going to flop around. So same thing, hinge, Pop your hips. Okay? I'm going to use water recklessly without tape, and I'm going to try for the double kettlebell swing. So 2 of them at once. But same thing, regardless of how wide your stance is, you really want to push those hips back to keep those shins vertical. The second move we're going to do, and I'm going to have you do it in the warm-up, are leg lifts. So really focusing on, again, the hip area, but this whole lower abdomen and hip flexors. So you're going to, I got to fix the camera angle, sorry. Thanks for your patience. When you do leg lifts, if you lay down, you can isolate your hip flexors. But if you also want to get this lower part of your abs, go ahead into a hollow position, think like a banana, and stay there while you do your leg lifts. That's going to be a lot more difficult on your core. If you struggle with the leg lifts, just bend your knees and it takes some of the weight off. Last but not least are jumping jacks. You've been doing those since elementary school. We don't have to practice them. So I'll wait and see if there's any questions. I'll also repost the actual workout while we wait. And I just want to remind you, today's focus is get creative, right? We're trying to recreate kettlebell swings using whatever we have around the home. Have fun with it. Don't worry about looking or feeling silly, even if you're outside getting your fitness on. Like, this is a half an hour of your day for you working on your physical wellness, right? Like, feeling better. Sometimes we have to get creative about finding time to do things or finding ways to do things that are important to us. All right, friends, it looks like you don't have any questions. Today's workout, I'm not really sure how long it's going to take, but I thought 5 rounds would be a good indicator. So for me, I am going to get 5 playing cards because math is hard. That's going to let me know each round. So I'm going to do 10 swings, 20 leg lifts, and 40 jumping jacks. I'm going to flip a card. And that lets me know I have 4 rounds left. This is my favorite way to keep track during a workout. You have a choice. If you finish before me, you can just drink some water, rest, and wait to stretch. You can add an extra round. Also, if you're still working on your 5 rounds and I finish before you, I highly recommend hitting the pause button, right? Like, don't cut yourself short. Unless your body is telling you that 3 or 4 rounds are all you need to feel better today. All right, enough talking. Let's get sweating. So again, it's 10 swings, 20 leg lifts, and 40 jumping jacks. Move my backpack out of the way. All right, we're gonna get started in, oh yeah, hopefully you have your own music, because I don't have any. 3, 2, 1, and go. 10. When you're done with that, 20 leg lifts. Right into 40 jumping jacks. That's one round. We're gonna go ahead and do another one. 10 swings. Remember, it's hips back, not squat down. Twenty leg lifts. Forty jumping jacks. All right, start our third round, 10 swings. I'll turn the side so you can see the form, hips back. Twenty leg lifts. And 40 jumping jacks, more than halfway. Woohoo! Fourth round, 10 swings. Twenty leg lifts. And 40 jumping jacks. Last set of 10 swings. 20 leg lifts. And final set of 40 jumping jacks. All right, if you're close to finishing, keep on going. If you're done, grab some water. I guess that went a lot quicker than I imagined. So I am going to stretch and run you through some good stretches. But if you're still here and you're wondering, you're watching this live. If you watch it later, I won't be able to comment. But if you have any questions, like about how to develop a group of muscles at home when you don't have a barbell, or about the workout itself, or really anything, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I'll do my best. And if I don't know the answer, I'll direct you towards someone who does. Sorry, I got distracted. There's like sheets of rain falling, and it's just beautiful to watch, like how the wind is blowing it. I don't know. Very enamored with nature. That's why I live out in the country, despite growing up right in the heart of Rochester. All right, let's go ahead and stretch. Bring it down here so you can get a better view. The first stretch we're going to do is child's pose, and then we're going to add some shoulders to it. So you want to really put your toes together and then sit right down on your heels. Your knees as wide as feel comfortable to your hips. And then I like to start with my hands close, because that way I can use them to help push me down into my heels, right? Like, otherwise my butt naturally wants to come up. And then I walk myself out, and I'm really pushing to try and maintain that connection with my heels. Eventually, I'm going to get so far that my hips are just going to rise, and that's okay. When I do, I let them. I still try to push my palms into the floor. And make sure you relax your neck. You don't want any tension in your neck. All right, from here, what I'd like you to do is incorporate a stretch into your shoulders. So you're actually going to dig your elbows down and reach your hands down your back. Walk those elbows in close to your ears and push them into the ground. If that's not a stretch, you can twist like this, get a little deeper. Alright, go ahead and release. Back to all fours. Now we're going to stretch our hip flexors. So from all fours, bring one foot forward, push the other one back, and you want to keep your knee over your ankle. No leaning, right? Knee over ankle. And then you're just gonna push yourself up. From here, if you want a deeper stretch, the back leg, you can put your hand right on your lower back and push forward. Lynn, I love that you're still here. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, get out of this stretch by putting your hands on the ground, swinging your leg back, and bring your other foot forward. Again, we want this straight line from our ankle to our knee. Push the back leg back. Leverage. If you want more of a stretch, push on that back leg hip. Here, go ahead and release. Since our workout ended a little bit early, we'll add in an extra stretch. Once you're on all fours, lean forward. Stay from the side a little better. You're gonna lean forward, stretch your wrists and your forearms. And come back to center. Put them out to the side. Lean to the left. Lean to the right. Back to center. Try to put your hands backwards. And if you can, pull back. I can't get very far. We'll do that one more time. Center, lean forward. Back to center, hands out to the side, lean to the left. Center, lean to the right. Center, turn your hands backwards. Hopefully you can get them a little better this time. And go back. All right. That's it for the fitness. Lynn says you're a beast. I appreciate that. I don't know, like I don't really actually talk about my fitness journey. To be honest, CrossFit saved my life, and then I got addicted to it, and then I had to save myself from my CrossFit addiction. So I am a beast, but I worked really hard to get here. 8 years ago, I was still in active use. Alcohol was my drug of choice, but not my only addiction that I was suffering from. And I got into fitness, and one of my other disordered thinking habits, I guess I'll call it, is perfectionism. And I used to race professional motocross, and that brought me a lot of joy. And self-worth, to be honest, I would identify with success on the racetrack and use that to build my self-esteem because I didn't have a well of it inside, which is something I can thankfully say has changed these days, but I'm still working on it. So I found CrossFit, and as soon as I figured out they had competitions, it was over. Like, that was my life. I was spending so much time at the gym. Like, as soon as I got off work, I was neglecting, I think in some ways, my relationships with other people. I was pouring money into it. I was obsessing over thinking about it, so a lot of the same character traits that I would exhibit when I was in active use, right? So then it came to a point where I was competing at a high level and I needed to train. but it was really freaking hard to train with a hangover. So I realized like something had to give. And at that point, there was no way I could reduce my drinking. Like it was either I don't drink at all or I drink all of everything. But oddly enough, I wouldn't identify as an alcoholic or even as someone who suffered from addiction. But that's neither here nor there. I know better now. So I had to stop drinking so I could compete in CrossFit, and for a long time that was fulfilling until it wasn't, right? Like my first major injury, I lost all of my self-esteem and spiraled into this really dark place. And then it started being less fun, right? I mean, I guess it's the same as my story with alcohol. It was fun at first and then it just wasn't, you know. Same for fitness. So I had to relearn my relationship with fitness. And for me, that meant taking a step away from competition, taking myself out of CrossFit for a while and getting into lifting weights. And I'm happy to say now, I still compete with weightlifting, but I don't wrap my identity around it, right? Like I don't have to wear weightlifting clothes everywhere I go. I don't have to tell everyone about it. If I get first place, I'm stoked. If I get last place, I just train more, but I don't feel like less of a person. So I thank recovery for that, because all the tools that I learned in my recovery from substance use disorder are the same tools that I'm having to re-engage with when it comes to whatever gets obsessive up in my mind. So yeah, I am a beast, and I do accept that title reluctantly. And I honor the fact that some unhealthy habits had to be unlearned along the way to get where I am. But 8 years into working out and sobriety, this is where I'm at. So there's hope for anybody. I was 115. Let me say that again. 115 pounds at 5'7" when I started working out 8 years ago, and now I'm about 150, 150. And so much happier with who I am as a person and how my body looks. Funny story, the first time I bench pressed, the coach was showing me how to do it with an empty bar just to warm up, and I couldn't do it. The bar got stuck in my chest. I was like, I need help. And he's like, ha ha ha. I was like, no, seriously, the bar is like stuck. I can't push it up. And he just looked at me and he was like, wow, you have the weakest upper body of anyone I know. And, you know, that was back in my disordered thinking. I was like, oh, I'll show him. And I guess in some ways I did, because I can bench a lot more than an empty bar these days. But yeah, anywhere you are in your journey with dedication, perseverance, and in my opinion, reflection, like the ability to say, this is what went well and this is where I have some weaknesses I need to shore up. You can go anywhere on your journey. It just takes being honest with yourself and putting in the work, and reaching out to people who can help. So I love, Lynn, when you send me messages or you come to the classes, or when I see you. It's been a while, but you always ask the best questions, and that's really, really a great attitude towards learning. Anyways, enough of Friday fitness confessions with Lisa. But if you do want some work on your recovery journey, like I said, mine started with fitness, but did eventually take me to other avenues of recovery. Call our hotline, email us, text us. We have outreach engagement specialists that are there to walk with you on your journey. We're not here to tell you what to do or how to do it. I think of it as like, because I like metaphors, we're just standing next to you holding your hand, but you're leading the way. We're reflecting back to you and talking with you and supporting you and being consistent, but you're in charge. So if that's what you want or someone you know might need, go ahead and give us a call at 585-622-4975. Other than that, you keep doing you, and I will see you next week. I love you all. Thank you so much.